today we're here with Thomas Germer, Director of Central Procurement at ADAC. Thomas, nice to meet you. I guess maybe for those that, no problem. I guess maybe for those that don't know you, you want to give us a brief introduction to your role, your responsibilities at ADAC, and perhaps tell me a little more about what you and the team are focused on at the moment.
So I'm Thomas, I'm the head of procurement of ADAC or ADAC. That's the largest European automobile club.
Okay.
So we have north of 22 million members.
Wow.
We're turning 122 next week.
Okay.
And we're a service conglomerate. So we do everything around roadside assistance. We operate helicopters, planes. We have insurance companies. So we're a conglomerate.
Sure.
And I'm trying to keep things together when it comes to procurement in this organization.
Absolutely.
I've been in procurement for 25 years now in different roles. I spent some years in research. I did consulting. I had my own little company as an entrepreneur.
Oh wow, great.
And in different CPO roles now, mostly revolving around service industries and transforming procurement in the service industry. That's basically it.
Fascinating. I'm always interested when people have that kind of deep experience. I guess particularly it sounds
at least
like
it's
across
long.
different areas.
You need to tell me if it's deep. At the
yeah,
least it's
no.
long.
I mean, I guess across those different areas, I guess it gives you a really good kind of overview of different kinds of procurement.
Because I've been on these
like.
procurement table in different perspectives.
Sure. Yeah.
So I know how to sell procurement from a consulting time.
Absolutely.
I know to start a business in procurement, but I also know how difficult it is from a transformational perspective if you're really in charge of procurement.
Of course.
Which is a different animal, to be honest.
Absolutely. So what does procurement look like at ADAC? Maybe you could tell me specifically what it's like in that kind of industry and the kind of, I guess, services you're delivering.
Okay. I joined the company about 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful team. I enjoy working with them very much. But we're now very much in an operational perspective.
Right.
Because the company wanted this in a more operational perspective, but we're now facing some commercial challenges.
Okay.
Not today and tomorrow, but on the horizon you can see that weather's changing to some extent.
Absolutely.
And even though as we're a service conglomerate, there are different weather conditions for different business models.
Yeah.
So long story short, from a commercial perspective, we need to be prepared better.
Okay.
So a wonderful team, operationally focusing, and we're now trying to evolve the topic, doing less operational work, trying to do this with IT. What IT can do better, let's do it IT.
Yeah.
And we're trying to be more in front and more upfront in the game and just trying to focus more on the P2P and real strategic sourcing stuff. So that's the journey in a nutshell.
Absolutely. So I mean, on technology, digitalization, where does that come into it, and where are you looking to, I guess, leverage innovation to really accelerate procurement?
Okay. At the end, to me, there are two business reasons for this technology. The first one is to unburden the team from operational work.
Okay, yeah.
That's one part. The second part is to increase quality and quantity of data to really do better procurement.
Yes, yeah.
Because I still believe you can be a great procurement guy without technology.
Okay.
You can be a much better procurement guy with great technology.
Yeah.
But also, if you have great technology but not the right team, it doesn't make any sense at all. So for me, two major topics: unburden the team and enhance availability and quality of data. To me, that's key for really playing a strategic role in procurement in our organization.
Excellent, thank you. And I guess kind of moving on and staying on that theme then, tell me about how you're working with Ivalua. I mean, how you, I guess, kind of came to them as a solution and how you're delivering.
Okay. There was no solution selected when I joined the company. What I did was I hired an external consultancy for a good reason to actually refine our wish list that we had as a company, because you can imagine the wish list was quite long.
Vast, I would imagine.
And many topics.
Yeah.
And also the market is quite diverse.
Of course.
And speaking from experience, I know regardless which tool we were about to take, there will be backfire once you start implementing.
Okay, yeah.
So it was important to me to have a sound decision. So I hired an external consultant to say, look, help me to streamline my own wishes from my own organization, then match this with the market.
I see.
And do a fully transparent process.
Okay.
And this process was bulletproof. The outcome was Ivalua.
Great.
And that was important to me because, as I've expected it, of course, some people are questioning this because it's a change. It's a change of the way we live, the way we work, the way we think. Some questions do evolve around Ivalua, but that was basically, I know it sounds pretty boring, but we just did a proper tender process as we do as
you have to.
People,
as you have to.
That's part of the assignment.
Sure.
And the outcome was Ivalua. And then from a technical perspective, we opted for 3 modules.
Okay.
We have the SRM, Supplier Relationship and Performance Management, as they call it. That's already in place. It's in an infant stage, but it's already in place.
Okay.
And we're about to deploy the sourcing and the P2P module in about 4 to 6 weeks' time with a silent go live then, like in a hotel. We start with a pre-opening just to, don't put too much pressure on the team and the technology, and then we have the full blast of Ivalua somewhere in summer.
Amazing, fantastic. And you mentioned sourcing. I know strategic sourcing is a big focus. How do you think that using Ivalua will help protect margins and really kind of elevate that sourcing process?
I think it will help that my team is going to spend more time on really strategic sourcing. Means they need more time just to invest with our internal clients, because regardless of the technology, you need to understand the needs of your internal client.
Yes.
I know that sounds pretty easy and simple. In reality, it's not, because we have strong internal clients. We also have strong procurement people. You need to be as early in the game as possible. Ivalua helps us just to unburden the workload from them, actually make them ensure, or as a prerequisite, that they do have the time for this. And strategic sourcing in their sense means really addressing the business needs and not, and I give you a simple example, maybe the cheapest consultant that someone requires is a new colleague. Or maybe the cheapest company car that someone's asking for is a flat rate contract for German railway system. But to me, that's strategic sourcing. And technology helps to at least get something off your desk and also have the data available for this, but you need to be a smart person to be accepted in this kind of game. So to me, it's, I need this in the background, but I wouldn't say that Ivalua solves all the problems that we have. No, definitely not. But it's a help. And a well-received help, I assume.
Absolutely, fantastic. And I guess you talked about the silent rollout, and you have a timeline there. Is that a relationship you're interested to keep going? I mean, we've seen a lot of innovation here and talk about new technologies and AI. Are they on your radar on the horizon?
Yes, they are. And to be honest, I was amazed this morning when these guys shared what they're working on.
Incredible, wasn't it?
It is indeed. And but also, first things first. So right now I'm focusing on just making this a part of the everyday routines of the team and of the entire organization. That needs to become part of the DNA. But I think there are more ways to unburden the team, to improve technology. And my learning from this morning was we need to make it as easy as possible, especially for internal clients, because if it's easy, they will use it. That means to me it's easy to embrace all spend, all suppliers, all business models that we have in the variety of what our company has on offer. And also it helps me to have a huge fan base for the topic procurement in the organization. So I'm curious especially about these intake management that they offered this morning. Because as long as you're able to operate a keyboard, you're good to go. And that's, to me, that's pretty much appealing, and I'm looking very much forward. So this is one of my items that I have on the list next to others, but making procurement simple as, I don't know, brushing your teeth or just buying something on Amazon, that's the goal.
Well, it's, as you just said, you talked about, things sounding simple, but sometimes they're the fundamentals to get in place, I assume, if you're building.
As I told you, we have a history of 122 years now. So there are perceptions of procurement. There's a huge history. So it's not that easy to change. And that doesn't refer to the company ADAC, it refers to any company that has a long history.
Yeah.
It's a change.
Of course, yeah.
And it's not easy. It's regardless if it's Ivalua or another tool.
Yeah.
That's never easy. But to me right now, having these 3 standard modules is the prerequisite just to go on the next S-curve of
You'll build
improvements.
and build.
What the guys shared this morning.
Amazing. So, I mean, very briefly, I suppose you have that kind of timeline in place. What's the ultimate kind of vision for procurement? What does it look like for you, wherever that may be in the future?
Oh, okay. That's the 1 million question you said for last, right?
I've got you at the end.
In my dreams, I want that people do procurement without even calling this procurement.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to be this completely behind the curtain for my internal clients. That would be perfect, that they don't even know what processes do take place behind the curtain, what clearances they have. Just it should be as simple as possible. And I want my team just to focus on the real great and funny things, really discussing with human beings about great solutions for the company. That's my dream of procurement. I hope I can achieve it in this life.
You'll get there.
I'm confident, but it's a challenge. But this is why I'm still very much motivated every morning just to keep pushing the thing.
That's brilliant. And just before I let you go, I just wanted to ask you very quickly about the event. I mean, obviously, procurement has so much facing it at the moment, I guess, and into the next few years.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important to bring people together like this,
Yes.
and for leaders like Ivalua to have these events? Yeah.
Yes. I just spoke to another Ivalua colleague, and I learned from my very first boss, it was a good event if you have 3 business cards and 3 new ideas on your way back home.
Okay.
That is completely true for me talking about this event.
Yeah.
It's great to talk to people. It's great to understand what the Ivalua people have in mind. But to me, it's even more important to talk with other procurement colleagues about their transformation journey, the problems that they have. And for me, it's always helpful and easy just to touch base with them after the event.
Sure, of course.
And just have a chat whether is this something specific to us? This happened to you as well? How do you tackle specific problems? And to me, this requires a physical meeting. And if it's even in such a special location and venue, that's even more special. But meeting personal from time to time, to me, is key.
Absolutely. Well, Thomas, fantastic, and so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about procurement today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Wish you all the best on the rest of your journey.
Thank you. Likewise, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.